Well, now we are talking. This is the vibe that's been missing from the series. Marvel really cooked this time. Now we can finally expect something amazing. Episodes 8 and 9 truly made us believe again. If I had to describe episode 9 in one word, phenomenal, breathtaking, honestly, I'm out of words. Let's dive into some key points I noticed. The episode opens with a flashback scene set a year ago in what looks like a hospital. We see Vanessa offering Poindexter a chance to be free, but in return she needs a favor. She wants him to kill Benjamin Caffaro, aka Dumb Benny I'm guessing, and Foggy Nelson. What really stands out in this scene is how weak Poindexter is. He's struggling to even speak. If you recall, Fisk basically crushed his spine back in Daredevil season 3 and he was undergoing surgery. So it makes sense that post-operation he is both physically and mentally unstable. It seems like before Vanessa showed up, he wasn't really able to do much or help himself. Get this, Vanessa told Poindexter to kill both of them, but he only shot Foggy. He actually went to Benny to find out Foggy's exact location, but he had the opportunity to kill Benny also. So what really happened here? Could it be a twist straight from the comics? Maybe Foggy faked his own death. That has happened before in the source material. Well, something doesn't add up here. I have heard a rumor that Foggy is coming back in season 2. That must be it then. When Matt and Frank were fighting the task force in Matt's apartment, did you notice the shift in perspective? Whenever Matt, I mean Daredevil, is fighting, the scenes play out in real time, grounded and immediate. But when it switches to Frank, everything slows down with echoey sound effects. This is a subtle but brilliant reference. We are actually seeing the fight through Matt's perspective. Even in the middle of the battle, he is keeping tabs on Frank. He even tells him to stop killing those men. Classic Daredevil. Up until now, we have seen Matt use his abilities mainly to locate voices or subtle movements. But this feels like a serious upgrade from Marvel. At Frank's place, you definitely couldn't miss that awkward silence. There is clearly something brewing between Karen and Frank. Some unspoken tension, maybe even feelings. But here's the cool part. Matt noticed it. He picked up on the subtle change in their heartbeats. First, when they escaped the task force and Karen came to pick them up, and then again, while he was being patched up. Notice the number on the storage unit. It's 266. It could be a subtle nod to Daredevil Volume 1, issue 266, titled A Beer with the Devil. In that story, Mephisto taunts Daredevil, telling him his heroism is meaningless against real evil. His gift to Matt is the crushing realization of his own helplessness. In this case, in this season, Daredevil is clearly burdened with guilt and regret, especially over not being able to save Foggy and Hector Ayala. A really cool and thoughtful Easter egg if that's the reference. I noticed something a bit odd, maybe you did too. Frank walks straight through the front door of Red Hook, the base of Task Force, and he looks completely empty-handed. But earlier, we clearly saw him leave with a shotgun. Strangely enough, he never uses it during this so-called brave infiltration. Even if we assume he used it off-screen and ran out of ammo, it still doesn't explain why he would openly walk into a heavy armed base, basically announcing his arrival. That's not the Frank Castle we know. He's not just the Punisher because of his ruthlessness. He is also a highly skilled military tactician. If you have seen Daredevil Season 2 or the Punisher series, You know, he once saved his entire platoon from certain death. From everything we have seen, he is a guy who always plans ahead. Charging in without a clear strategy just feels off. So when I saw that scene, it felt awkward, like the writers just wanted Frank to get caught for dramatic effect. And the irony? If he wanted to take out the task force, he easily could have. The dude had enough guns and ammo to level the place. But I guess they didn't want to stretch the episode any further. And here is another thing. When Frank enters, the team is ordered not to shoot. But once he starts chopping them up, they eventually do. Yet only aim for his vest. Not the head, not the limbs, just the vest. They are clearly the loyal fanboys who didn't want to hurt their favorite anti-hero. Let's talk about our vicious villain, Kingpin. Over the course of the season, we watched him slowly shift from Mayor Fisk back into full-blown Kingpin mode, and it was brilliant. At the beginning, he was struggling with the egos of New York's rich bosses, and had trouble keeping his crime partners like Luca in line. But the moment he saw an opening, he laid the groundwork, like forming the task force. And with just that one move, he took control of the entire city. That's pure, calculated evil. He even gave the kill order on the man who literally saved his life. That's just cold. And the way he took out Gallo, it instantly reminded me of that unforgettable moment in Daredevil Season 1 when he beheaded Anatoly with his car door. Classic Kingpin brutality. I really hope they build him up to be even more powerful, like final boss level, where it takes all the New York superheroes to bring him down. But let's be honest, that probably won't happen. New York is in serious trouble right now. Mayor Fisk has enacted his Safer Streets initiative, and martial law is in full effect. There is an 8 p.m. curfew, and he is officially targeting all superheroes. As far as the Defenders go, Fisk definitely knows who they are. Matt Murdock, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Danny Rand. It's safe to assume that they are all on his radar, but it's not just them. This crackdown would make things difficult for others too, like Spider-Man and She-Hulk, especially since Fisk already name-dropped Spider-Man in the show. To be honest, when Matt says we need an army, I get the chills. That line hits hard. So the big question is, who could actually be part of this army? If we start with the non-enhanced allies, we can expect familiar faces like Detective Misty Knight, Detective Brett Mahoney, the ever-reliable Claire Temple, and maybe even Malcolm. They have all played key support roles before, and this fight is going to need every hand on deck. Now let's talk about heroes. The obvious ones are Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist, and Colin Wing. From the newer generation, we have got Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Maya Lopez, aka Echo. Now let's get this clear. I'm not saying everyone on this list is going to show up, but a few are very likely. Kate Bishop for sure, especially since Jack is now in Fisk's cage. Miss Marvel feels like a strong contender too, considering they dedicated a whole episode to set up her connection. And Spider-Man? Fisk mentioned him by name.
But New Yorkers are tough. We know how to take care of ourselves. We don't need a gun-toting vigilante who wears a skull on his chest, or a man who dresses in a spider outfit.
That's not a throwaway. There is something cooking there. As for the original Defenders, They're almost a given if this gets as big as it's building up to be. It feels like a lot, but if anyone can bring them together, it's Matt Murdock. So, the burning question is, where was Spider-Man during the blackout? My guess, he was out there doing what he does best, protecting the people. With chaos erupting across the city, there is no doubt he was handling emergencies on the streets, stopping looters, saving lives, and preventing things from spiraling further out of control. If you look closely at the timeline, Fisk announces his Safer Streets initiative the very next morning after the blackout. At the same time, Matt starts gathering his trusted allies, but he hasn't had the chance to call for outside help yet. I could be off on a few things here, but hey, I'm just a dude who's sharing some thoughts. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. Take care, be kind.